Welcome to the Bible Difficulties and Answers podcast. I'm Lance Smith, your host, rooted in the timeless truths of Scripture, sparked by boundless wonder, and devoted to wrestling with life's deepest riddles through the lens of faith. We've arrived at week 20 of our 20-week Sunday series, capping off section 4 of J. Steve Miller's Faith That's Not Blind. Pages 101 to 104 usher us into Exhibit 20, Pascal's Wager. Suggests that fence-sitters bet on God. What if the scales of belief were perfectly balanced, but the stakes were eternally lopsided? Today, we'll unpack why a 17th century mathematician's gamble might just be the nudge fence-sitters need. Not as blind faith, but as shrewd risk management that aligns heart and mind. This isn't about forcing belief. It's about weighing infinities in a finite world, turning indecision into intentional steps toward truth. Let's set the stage. Picture yourself in New Orleans, staring down dueling weather forecasts. Half the experts swear a monster hurricane's barreling straight for your doorstep in 2 days, ready to swallow your home in a surge. The other half bet it'll veer east at the last second. Traffic's already clogging escape routes. Do you hunker down or load the car and go? Or think closer to home. I remember a season in my own life, after a layoff at my next-to-last company, when 2 job offers dangled like lotteries. Steady pay here in a safe corporate role, dream pursuit working in the field there. The safe choice tempted, but betting on the unknown path led to friendships and insights that reshaped my faith even today. What if eternity's decision feels that urgent, that asymmetric? Pascal invites us to tally the odds, not with fear, but with the clarity of a ledger that tips decisively one way. Page 101 introduces Blaise Pascal, the brilliant French scientist, mathematician, and philosopher who lived from 1623 to 1662. He's immortalized in that brooding statue at the Louvre by Augustin Panzu. Miller paints the scene. Imagine your evidence tallies 0 out of everywhere, except a lone 5 for God's existence. Bam, you're at 50-50, smack in agnostic territory. Ink's been spilled by sharp minds on both sides, from skeptics like Voltaire, who hedged his eternal bets on his deathbed just in case, to believers unpacking the cosmos. How could anyone claim uncertainty? Enter Pascal's wager. In this standoff, why not bet on God? The potential upside? Infinite joy in the afterlife. The downside of being wrong? Finite loss, like a missed earthly pleasure. But flip it. Wager against God and lose? Infinite regret. It's not proof of God, it's prudence for the undecided. Page 102 flips the script to betting as seeking. Sure, dipping into rituals you half believe might feel hypocritical at first, like praying for answers you're not sold on. But Pascal saw it as sincere exploration, echoing our earlier chat on pragmatism, and that's episode 10. Try it. Pray, and you might hear back. Meditate and sense something beyond the stars. Miller spotlights chemist Henry Schaefer III, a once skeptical scientist who joined a Bible study, church-hopped for perspective, and soaked up wisdom from sharp believers. No lightning bolts, just gradual clarity. Yet, if you wager against God, living as if he's a myth, that's the real gamble, potentially dooming your eternity to shadows. Page 103 runs the numbers through risk's lens, ditching fear for reward. Lotteries hook us with long-shot jackpots, despite lousy odds. Why not apply that to a 50-50 shot at a divine connection? The hurricane analogy sharpens it. With experts split, you don't wait for consensus. You evacuate valuables and family because the cost of being wrong is catastrophe. Pascal's math screams the same. Bet yes on God, live helpfully, like aiding the needy, fostering joy. And even if you're wrong, you've enriched this life. Persecuted believers aside, the gain-loss ratio tilts heavenly. Page 104 wraps with decision time. Is the wager convincing, or did Pascal miss the mark? Should agnostics act as if God's real, shaping attitudes, prayers, even family talks around it? Miller nods to Voltaire's late pivot and Schaefer's journey, urging us don't just analyze, engage. It's not coercion, it's wisdom for when evidence evens out, but eternity doesn't. For deeper dives, the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy's Pascal's Wager, that entry packs 65 plus references. Plus, Google risk theory and decision theory for how businesses and governments crunch these calls daily. How do you rate this evidence? It's not slam dunk theology, but a practical prod for the undecided, clearing indecision's fog. Not convincing at all? 0 to 10, totally convincing. For more, grab the Stanford piece. The show notes link it up. Voltaire's philosophical dictionary skewers religion, but reveals his hedge. Henry Schaefer's Science Came of Age blends lab coats with faith. William James's The Will to Believe explores pragmatic leaps. And don't skip Miller's own takes in the book. These ideas remind us faith isn't always a thunderclap. It can be a calculated step into the light, refining our seek as we go. Skeptics might call it a dodge, but for me, it echoes Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord, lean not on your own understanding. So, the big question, does Pascal's wager wisely nudge fence sitters to bet on God, given the infinite stakes? I'll start. This lands an 8 from me. It's liberating to frame doubt as a choice worth making, like that job leap years ago that deepened my walk. Not everything, but a series ender that ties our journey with hope. We've crossed the finish line on this 20-week adventure through Miller's exhibits, wrestling theism's hurdles, weighing naturalism's claims, and landing here at a wager for the wise. What's one takeaway that reshaped your lens? Share it. I'd love to feature voices in a wrap-up bonus finale episode next Sunday. Email BibleDifficultiesAndAnswers@gmail.com or hop on our Facebook page. These tools aren't just reads, they're compasses for the curious soul. Until next Sunday, which is our series conclusion, share this episode, drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and swing by BibleDifficultiesAndAnswers.podbean.com. And remember, in life's great bet, the house always wins when the house is grace. I'm Lance Smith, signing off with good luck, good health, and God bless. So long, everybody.